Well, the demonstrators are here a few hundred yards from the conference centre itself. They're in an area that the police have allowed them to be. This is the designated demonstration area. There's room for about 5,000 to 6,000 people. You can see in here they're making quite a lot of noise, and they're protesting about a very wide range of issues. There are protesters here protesting about the president of Ethiopia. There are people talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are anti-war protesters calling for British troops to be withdrawn from Iraq and Afghanistan. What we haven't really seen very much of yet the anarchists who took part in the demonstrations yesterday in the city of London, which ended in some pretty violent clashes between riot police and protesters. But this is the specific area where people are allowed to demonstrate. If we just take a look down the road there, we can see just at the very end of that road, that is where the conference centre itself is, and you can see that it's quite a long distance from where this demonstration is taking place, and there are police barriers and cordons separating the demonstrators from the G20 conference centre itself. So although there are lots of the world's leaders in there, one has to doubt really that they're able to hear very clearly the message that these protesters are putting out. Messages, as I say, on a very diffuse, wide range of subjects. Yesterday we had the conference centre, as I say. They're not allowed to get their voices heard. They feel it isn't very democratic, that they should be allowed to be right outside the conference centre. But they are being kept back, so every time the leaders come past on their way out of here, then these demonstrators really shout pretty loud.
Yeah, interesting, Ben, to know whether they actually disagree with the sort of stuff that is being discussed in here. In old times, if you like, a decade ago, there would be anti-globalisation protests. Now, it's not such a unified voice, if you like. There seems to be so many different groups. You wonder if they actually disagree with what's being discussed here.
To be honest, a lot of these people are representing what you could say are quite obscure causes, and actually what they really want is to get their causes on the agenda at a summit like this G20 one. For example, some of the people here talking about the Ogaadeeniya region of Ethiopia and saying that there are human rights abuses there. That's not something that's even being discussed obviously at the G20, but these people are saying it should be. So that is their message, that they want their issues discussed at the top table.
And in terms of the geography, Ben, if you give us an indication of just how close they are to us. I'm inside the Excel Centre, and I can tell you that to get in here, we had to park up in a car park, then get a coach, then go through security, then get on another coach before we walked in the building. So there is a real sense of that distance between us and them here. Certainly, we've got no idea from inside that anyone is protesting outside at all, except via the television.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me just give you a sense of the geography. I mean, here we are. The police, as you can see, holding back the demonstrators with these barricades. And then if we just look down that road, and there is the white building at the very end of the road, the Excel Centre where you are. It's probably about a quarter of a mile away, maybe a third of a mile away. There's a sort of barricaded fence in the middle. There were some riot police there on horseback earlier on, just to make sure no one got through there. But certainly you can't go down that road unless you have all the right accreditation. Even reporters like me don't have that sort of accreditation. So these protesters kept well away, and that is their complaint. I mean, they are saying that this idea of a protest zone where you're allowed near the summit venue but not very near, they're saying that is something that was pioneered by the Bush administration in the United States, the idea of a protest zone that's not very close to the venue itself, and they're saying that's not democratic, that they should be allowed right outside the front door of where the world leaders are meeting to make their voices heard.